morning from Malaysia. We are in a small village about 2 hours outside of Kuala Lumpur, 2 hours northeast of Kuala Lumpur, Kampung Senggu Klau. And this is a town in Malaysia that does not see a lot of tourism. In particular, it does not see a lot of Western tourism for sure. We're staying at a hotel called Village Farmer Corporate. And you might say, that sounds like a strange name, and I think it means something different in Chinese. They get a lot of Chinese tourists here, and actually this is a Chinese village here in Malaysia. The majority of the residents, about 99% of the residents, are Chinese Malaysian. This is actually one of 10 Chinese villages that make up this kind of province of Raub, R-A-U-B. So there's 10 Chinese villages here, and this whole area is like an agricultural area. So Malaysia actually has 3 different ethnic groups. They have Chinese, Malay, and Indian people. And so when I say Chinese Malaysians, they're of Chinese descent, but they are born in Malaysia. It goes back to like the different ethnic groups that kind of migrated to Malaysia way back in the day. Primarily what they're known for here, and what they get a lot of tourism for here, is durian. And they're famous for one type of durian in particular, the Musang King. Durian is this kind of notorious fruit that's kind of spiky on the outside and has a strong pungent smell and a taste and texture kind of like custard or cheese. I've never actually had durian, so keep an eye out for a video coming of me trying durian for the first time in the home of the Musang King. Might as well try the very best durian in the world. Just trying to get some breakfast here, and I don't know if they understand what vegetarian is. Sam's trying to communicate with the guy in Chinese through Google Translate right now, and it looks like he just gave her a bowl of noodles with meat in it. So I just wanted to give you backstory of what's going on today and what we're doing, because sometimes I don't give that backstory and it's pretty interesting. The whole reason why we're in this tiny village in the middle of Malaysia is they have a waterfall here called Lata Berembun, and it's a beautiful waterfall with 3 tiers. Supposedly you can slide at least one of the tiers, and one of the bigger tiers looks like you might be able to slide as well. There's a lot of blogs online about Lata Berembun, this waterfall. It's supposed to be one of the best in Malaysia. It's on several top 10 best waterfalls in Malaysia lists. And there's a lot of blogs that talk about it, but none of them tell you how to get there. None of them tell you where to stay. We found one random blog. Sam found one random blog that had a number on it, a phone number. It didn't really tell you what the phone number was for. We called the number, they didn't answer. And so we really wanted to see this waterfall, but we didn't know where we were gonna stay. We didn't know how we were gonna get there. So we decided just to drive here and figure it out when we got here. And on the way, the person that Sam had called finally got back to us and told us to come, and then it was like a relay race. We got here, she passed us off to somebody else, and it turned out the person she passed us off to was Ning, who ran the homestay that had shut down that I had previously called, and her boyfriend owned the hotel here that we're staying at, which the person we originally called that got back to us told us to stay at, but it wasn't on Google Maps as a hotel, so it was very confusing. But eventually we got here. It turned out Ning and her boyfriend invited us to her house for dinner. They cooked us dinner. It was very nice. We had a great time, stayed up late talking with them, and they helped us arrange a 4-wheel drive ride. It's a set price. It's normally 350 ringgit to take 4-wheel drive to the waterfall. So now we're across the street eating this bowl of noodles for breakfast and about to take a 4-wheel drive into the jungle of Malaysia to hunt for this waterfall. And you need to use Google Translate, otherwise you'll get meat in your soup. Have it set to Chinese to English, because they also probably speak Malay here, but they definitely speak Chinese. Okay, so the noodle soup was 6 ringgit a piece, so that is about about $1.50. $1.50 for that noodle soup. One thing I forgot to mention is there's no ATM in this town. So we're kind of stuck with we didn't really take out that much money. We got enough to cover the Jeep, but we're really limited on our food budget of the money we have left. And so that was one of the reasons Ning, the girl we met, offered to cook us dinner last night, which was so incredibly generous of her. So this is our room that we're staying in for $19 a night. And the Jeep guy is here. Not sure what we're getting into today, but it's gonna be pretty crazy, I think. Let's go. So guys, here's Ning and Doc.
Hi.
She cooked us dinner last night because we have no money. No ATM. And Doc, this is Doc's hotel. So so they're here to see us off on our journey. There is the Jeep that we'll be taking. Looks pretty rough. So, and you've been to the waterfall before?
Yes, yes.
It's good.
Oh, very nice and extreming along the journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a long journey.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Yes. So this guy, I know he like extreme.
Yeah, exactly. She already knows. High five. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye. Bye. You're sending us off into the unknown.
Okay.
Well, we know the guy's name that's driving us now, so it's good that we know his name. It's misting a little bit, so I'm glad we're not hiking because the road is pretty muddy.
So we were gonna wait and not come here because we looked at the forecast and it said it was gonna rain. I'm like, oh, we shouldn't be in a canyon when it's raining because we might die of a flash flood. And so we waited, and then we were in Kuala Lumpur for 2 more days. It didn't rain. So we're like, let's just drive there and see what happens. So this morning we're going to go, and now it's starting to rain.
So as we're driving in, we can see a lot of these palm groves that they're using to cultivate for the palm oil. Really not good for the environment. A lot of deforestation going on, a lot of species getting displaced because of the palm oil plantations here. Apparently these trees only have a 25-year lifespan, so after that, I guess they cut them down, they burn everything, and then they replant the field with more palm trees. What do you think of this ride so far?
Whew. My hands are getting like calluses from holding on so tight.
Latex, right?
That's the white stuff we saw that we thought was a coconut.
Latex, I think. Not sure, but I think those guys were harvesting latex from these trees here. They like drain.
Rubber.
It looks like a sap. It's either latex or rubber, not sure which, but it's white in like a white ball. And that's they let the sap drain down into a little bucket.
There's a thing.
How you doing?
Wow, that felt like one of the most extreme things that I've ever done. I wish we could have gotten it on video for you.
I could not document everything, guys. I had to hold on with both hands because it was really rough going. All I can say is I'm glad we did not rent a 4-wheel drive and try to do this ourselves. We never would have made it. We would have driven off a cliff. In terms of hiking, I'm also glad we didn't hike it because there's a couple forks. We wouldn't know which way to go. But yeah, one of the roughest 4-wheel drive rides I've ever had. You need a super high clearance, like a real 4-wheel drive, not something you can just rent from a rental agency.
And you have to be, this has to be your expertise, 4-wheel driving, or else you're gonna get stuck. So don't think you're just gonna be some person that like thinks they're a badass and is gonna rent the 4x4 and do it. Because you're not.
Are you trying to say like me? I think she's trying to say I think I'm a badass, guys, and that I could rent a 4-wheel drive and do this, which I could.
Wow.
Well, can we slide it? So we made it to the bottom tier, and there's 2 other tiers that we're gonna try to get to, which we have to hike to. So the adventure is just beginning. Apparently there's leeches everywhere. Interesting. A new development. A leech development. So the rain's starting to pick up a little bit. And I think we're at the 2nd tier now. I'm a little concerned about the trail going back. It's gonna be real slippery. And also the road, gonna be pretty hazardous if this rain keeps going. Hopefully it'll stop. Sam's stressed out a little bit from the slipperiness and the leeches. The leeches really stress her out. So I'm gonna keep going a little bit. Now that we've dropped down, just getting back up and down might be tricky. Probably not something I would recommend doing in the rain. Well, yeah, this is what I love, being in the jungle. Jungle of Malaysia right now. It's a little more rainy and wet than I anticipated, but I gotta say I'm loving every minute of it. A little concerned about how muddy the trail's gonna be, but what can you do? So the problem with documenting places like this is oftentimes I'm up on a slippery cliff and I'm just trying to hold on and not slip off the edge, or I'm flicking a leech off, I'm grabbing onto something, turns out to be spiky. And so that is the trick in documenting truly what this experience is like. Wet, slippery leeches, precarious cliffs, slick mud trails, lots of down trees, lots of hopping over down trees, bushwhacking. There's a very faint use trail here, very faint, but I figure I'd provide a little narration to it because I'm not able to capture everything because I have to have both hands free when I slip in the mud and brace myself and stuff like that. We actually were lamenting the fact that we forgot to bring our trekking poles, which would have been incredibly useful. For situations like that. You got leeches? Yeah. Where?
Do I have any on my back?
Oh, you got a big spider right here.
Oh, can you get it off me?
Yep.
I walked through it. Yeah, it was in my hair.
Okay, so after a quick break to take the leeches off of us, I think we're ready to move on, maybe. Just past some type of dead animal there, covered in maggots. Kind of looked like a deer maybe, but it was tough to tell what exactly it was.
So we are definitely way past the waterfalls. We started going up this trail. We saw some trail markers. Apparently there's like a trail running event or club or something that goes up Mount Benham. We've started ascending a mountain accidentally. We're like way far away from the river now, so now we have to backtrack because we did like probably 45 minutes to an hour extra hiking uphill than we should have done. So now we got to backtrack and to enjoy the waterfalls. And we just stopped and had a snack. I'm gonna need to eat some more food because I am so hungry. Well, Lata Berembun in rainy season, or at least the beginning of dry season here, lot of leeches. I would recommend coming late in dry season. That way the flow wouldn't be so high and there wouldn't be as many leeches. There's several other beautiful tiers, however it was too sketchy for us to get down there due to the muddy trail, just sliding down the cliff, the wet rocks. It was super hazardous. So we decided not to go to those other tiers. It's a pretty crazy adventure hike for sure. Still had a great day out here at Lata Berembun, Malaysia. Definitely check it out if you get a chance. Highly recommend it. It's worth the crazy Jeep ride. It's worth the crazy hike. People say that I'm too crazy and I do crazy stuff, but I played it safe today. I didn't even slide the big boy. I really wanted to slide the big boy, but it looked like a couple of ledges, and to get the safe spot, wet rock, played it safe. So on those people who say I'm too dangerous. And for parting words, I'll pass you off to Sam here.
Leeches. Lots of leeches.
Infamous.